This is the Louie Tee Network.
Who else could it be? Me, your man, Louie Tee. Welcome to week number 10 in the National Football League lockdown coverage. Probably the biggest surprise of the day, the Green Bay Packers. Go, Pack, go! Go, Pack, go! Taking on the all of a sudden explosive Tennessee Titans. 35 points last week in a loss against San Diego. 47? Is that a league high this season? I'm not sure, but I know it's pretty high up on the list of points scored this season by one team. Big performance by the Titans. Who knew the Tennessee Titans, after 10 weeks of football, would be sitting at 500? Who could have predicted that? What a statement made by the Titans heading into their bye week with this win. And you know what this prompted. This ass whooping, you know what it prompted. We'll talk about that here in a second. But first, as always, welcome to the Louie Tee Network. And if this is your first time here, thank you for joining me here on the Louie Tee Network. And if you haven't already done so, subscribe to the Louie Tee Network for more great content in 2016 and beyond. Man, we are changing the game over here. Want you to be a part of that movement. Simply hit that red subscription button to become part of the Louie Tee Network. Also, I'm on Twitter. @InTheLabRoom is the Twitter handle. The best and most efficient way to keep tabs on my movements here on this network is to simply follow me on Twitter and turn on your notifications. I upload a video, you'll get it in your Twitter feed. I do a live feed and I'm going live, it'll come into your notifications. Make sure you follow me on Twitter. And if you just want to chop it up and talk football, I'm here, baby. I'm here for you. Follow me on Twitter @InTheLabRoom. If you happen to be watching this while you're on Twitter and you want your voice to be heard, you want to be a part of the discussion at the end of this breakdown, use the hashtag LouieTLive to have that happen. Also, if you happen to be in the YouTube chat discussion as you're watching this and you want to have your comment read and converse back and forth at the end of this breakdown, simply use the hashtag LouieTLive. Also, I'm on Facebook. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. Go ahead, give me that thumbs up on Facebook. Gonna go and do some exclusive things on Facebook down the road. Gonna go ahead and explore and do some things there. So go ahead, get ahead of the curve and give me the like on Facebook. In the Lab Room is the Facebook page. All of my social media platforms right up above, scrolling around in that screen, in that box, so you can't miss out on anything. So don't forget, like the Facebook page, follow me on Twitter, and most importantly, subscribe to the Louie Tee Network on YouTube. That being said, you know what this is. Because of this ass whooping, you know what this is. You knew what this was the minute you saw the final score. I'm not breaking this down likes, dislikes, banana in the tailpipe. No. Ass whoopings and games that bore me to death. Succumb to what I saw from afar. So you know what we gonna do with this game. I'm gonna tell you what I saw from afar. So let's quickly run through this game that was easily the biggest upset of week number 10 in the National Football League. Tennessee Titans getting back to 500 with a resounding 47-25 victory over the Green Bay Packers. Or was it 26? 25. In any event, let's jump into this thing. Big win for the Tennessee Titans. And when we do what I saw from afar, we always start with the team who won the football game. That's right. To the victors go the spoils here. So we're going to start with the Tennessee Titans in this football game. Taylor Lewan getting ejected. don't really know how I feel about that. He did throw the official out of the way slightly, but look, Taylor Lewan's a hothead. I've already said this. He's a guy that's a loose cannon. When he gets upset, he can't control himself. That being said, when emotions run high, you know, football is a very emotional football game. You get in the heat of the battle. I'd like to see the referee not toss him out of the game for that, but you can't put your hands on the official. That's a rule, and he wasn't thinking about that. It was an official. A lot of times when you're ready to get in a fight with somebody, when you're heated, you're not looking at a strike guy. You just know somebody's holding you back. Get the hell off of me. Don't hold me back. He should have been able to show more restraint there. Know that that's an official. That's not a teammate. That's not a Green Bay Packer holding you back. That's an official. You can't just toss him aside like a piece of trash. But I don't know if I agree with him getting ejected. But that's the letter of the law. That's the way the rule is set up. Can't put your hands on the officials, man. So he got tossed early in this ball game, but it didn't matter. They plugged in the next guy, and they just kept it moving. And the thing that was so surprising was the level of dominance exuded by this Tennessee Titans football team in this game. Total dominance in the first half. 35 points. 35 points in the first half. 21 of them in the first quarter. Who saw that coming? Man, the thing that I just kept waiting. I kept waiting for that dam to break. I kept saying, okay, Green Bay's going to make a run. This Titans team, they're going to fold. They're going to look in that rearview mirror and see the Packers coming. They're going to get nervous. They're going to start making mistakes. Mariota's going to throw a pick six. He's going to fumble the football. They're going to scoop it up and score. I just kept waiting and waiting and waiting for that mistake. And it never, ever happened in this game. They took care of business. Every time you felt like, okay, first of all, they started the game with an onside kick. That let you know what their mindset was. In order to keep up with this Green Bay Packers offense, we got to try some trickery. So we're going to kick onside kick. That let you know what the state of this football team and the coaching staff was going into the game. We got to do a little bit of extra because we're not on their level. So they came out with an onside kick and it didn't work. So I'm thinking, oh, hell, here we go. You done started some shit. And so all of a sudden now, they get a stop. Wow. You give up great field position and you still get a stop. Who knew? First play of the game. Offensively, 75-yard run. We're going to jump into all of that with the Green Bay Packers side of things. But man, oh man. And every time, okay, so the Packers, after it's 21-0, the Packers get a touchdown and they make it 21-7. I said, okay, they're about to settle down. And the Titans went right back down the field and scored another touchdown. And I'm like, it's 28-7 now. Then the Packers say, all right, we're going to go down. We're going to get a field goal. It's 28-10. And I'm like, okay. Packers get a stop defensively. Trevor Davis muffs the football. They score a touchdown. It's 35. I'm like, oh, hell. The Titans aren't messing around. These boys aren't effing around today. They trying to put screws to asshole in this game. And then I looked up, and the Packers get a touchdown before the half. And I said, come on, Crosby. You can't miss the extra point, bruh. This ain't the game for that. So it's 16-35. Then the Packers get a stop in the second half, and they get a touchdown. I said, here comes the Packers now. They're down just 13, and they go for 2 to cut it to 11. I said, here come the Packers. They don't get the 2-point conversion, but I said, here come the Packers. Titans said, here come who? Take it right down the field again. Get in the damn end zone again. And that's when I knew. When they got that Tajay Sharp touchdown to put this game basically out of reach, that's when I knew. They're not winning this game. The Titans aren't playing around with their ass in this game. This isn't your uncle's Titans. The ones that fold up like a lawn chair with a little bit of pressure. These boys said, nah, we putting these boys to sleep. Put the screws on them in the second half. Didn't allow the Packers to do much of anything after that touchdown. Put those boys to sleep. Just like Tajay Sharp on his touchdown celebration where he laid down and went to sleep. The Titans put the Packers to sleep. Tucked those boys in nice and tight. Turned out the bed light, man. See you in the morning. Put those boys to sleep. Wow. That was dominant. Now, do I think that this is the Titans moving forward? Hell no. And I don't know what the hell's going on with the Packers. I don't care. All right? But I do know this. That was impressive. That's the mark of a team that's starting to figure some stuff out. And they're going to be dangerous. If they can stay healthy, that's the biggest key for them. If they can stay healthy, look, defensively, I told you, they got some stuff. They still need to add a few pieces on the offensive side of the football. Not in love with their wide receiving core. Their tight end position is nasty when Delaney Walker is healthy. Then you got guys like Anthony Fasano chipping in and doing what he can. Philip Supernall, all those other guys that decide they want to chip in and do a little something. But it all starts with Delaney Walker. The wide receiving core, they're just missing an alpha male. They just need a number one receiver. They got enough stuff at receiver. Trust me. They just need one guy. One guy to slide everybody into their proper slots. Then everyone else fits in where they belong. Then instead of Rashard Matthews being a number one, he's a number two. Instead of Tajay Sharp being a number two, he's a number three. Instead of Kendall Wright being a number three, which I think he could be fine at as a number three, he's a number four. And that's even better. You just need one guy to shift everybody over one slot offensively. And this offense is set. My goodness, the run game. I love when you tell me something because, look, at the end of the day, your word is all you got. I love when somebody looks me in my eyes before the season and says, this is what we're going to do. We're going to go get out. We're going to go out, get all these big boys up front. We're going to trade for DeMarco Murray. We're going to draft. And when a lot of people thought we overdrafted the running back position, we're going to draft Derrick Henry, and we're going to go ground and pound on these holes this season. See how they like that. We're going to run the football, power run game down your throat. And when you want us to stop, when you begging us to stop, we're going to give you more. We're going to give you some Marcus Mariota out of the backfield. Let him keep it. And they promised me that, and they're giving me that. I love it. Want more of it. And all of a sudden now these boys are 5-5. Look out. They're alive. Now, are they going to make the playoffs? Probably not. Are there going to be many more weeks like this? Probably not. But these aren't your uncle's Titans, man. These boys aren't going away. They're here to stay. And they're going to compete. They might win 8 games this year. I'm not saying. I'm just saying. Look out for the Tennessee Titans. That's all I'm saying. Let's go to the Green Bay Packers, man. This was a rough one. Didn't see this one coming at all. And to me, the start to the game for them was a microcosm of how this game was going to unfold overall. And you didn't know it at the time, but boy, was that an ominous start to the game. So let's go through and let's kind of pick through the start of this game for the Packers and why this thing turned into an ass whooping of epic proportions. They get an onside kick from the Titans. They get a gift. They play it well. Recover the onside kick on the opening kickoff of the game. Get great field position right around midfield. You're like, oh man, this is awesome. Great field position. Aaron Rodgers doesn't need your help. They got James Starks back, so they actually got a real running back. This is going to be trouble. And A-Rod on 3rd and 4 misses a wide open Randall Cobb. Damn. Now you got to punt after having great field position. You got to punt. Ain't that about a bitch. Okay, cool. Then you say, all right, well, let's pin these boys. Since we got to punt, let's make the most out of this. Punter drops it. Jacob Shum drops it right at the 1-yard line. And one of their bums decides, instead of batting the ball back, I'm going to try to grab it. Slides right onto the goal line. Dummy. Now the ball comes out to the 20. Damn you. Okay, fine. Let's just play some defense. They're at the 20. We're fine. Let's play some defense. Offsides penalty gives the Titans 1st and 5 from the 25. So now this is more like a kickoff touchback instead of a regular touchback. At the 20, now they're at the 25. First handoff of the game, DeMarco Murray out the gate, off the left side, 75 yards later, touchdown. It's 7-0. That was a microcosm of this game to me. After that, I didn't need to see anymore. I understood why they were about to get their asses whooped and handed to them. Partner, I understood why that was about to happen. Because that start to the game said that this Packers team was not ready. All 3 phases of the game failed them within the first 3 minutes of the game. You recover an onside kick, your offense promptly goes 3 and out. Aaron Rodgers misses a wide open Randall Cobb for a first down. Offense fails you. You punt the football off. Your punter does his job, downs it inside the 5. Your return guy, your gunner goes down there and muffs it all up, slides into the end zone while he's still contacting the ball. that is your special teams effing you over. And then the first snap, not even the first snap, the first time the Titans line up, you go offsides on defense and then promptly give up a 75-yard run. Your defense says, F this. All three phases of the game screwed you within the first 3 minutes of the game. And just like that, you're down 7-0. And before you knew it, you were down 21-0. They lose TJ Lang in the game. That's another big loss for an offensive line that isn't bad, but it isn't great either. You already struggle to run the football as it is. Losing TJ Lang, not going to help. That's an ankle injury. Hopefully it's not severe, but you know with these big guys, ankle injuries tend to linger. We'll see what happens with that. To me, I sum it up like this. Lousy start, poor tackling, a lot of offense. Offense. You never want your team playing offense. You know why? That means they're not playing any D. Too much offense in this game, especially in the first half. 21 points in the first quarter? Who in the hell saw that coming? 35 in the first half? Too many damn mistakes, a ton of mistakes. You finally get a little momentum, and your rookie Trevor Davis muffs the damn punt. Second half, you're getting a stop. You have some momentum. Titans have it 3rd and long after throwing a dump off to DeMarco, and he loses 4 yards. And your veteran defensive tackle, Daniels, decides it's a good idea to get up and taunt. Gives them 15 yards. They don't need your help. They already scored 35 points in the game already. Thanks. Appreciate that, bruh. I'll take that and go get a touchdown to Tajay Sharp because you decided to be a dum-dum. Thanks, Mike Daniels. Appreciate it. Packers couldn't get out of their own damn way. I'll leave you on this one lone bright spot for the Packers in this game. Devontae Adams is back like cooked crack. Had a huge game, 6 grabs, well over 100 yards. I think he's somewhere in the 140-yard range in this game. He was the lone bright spot for this Packers football team offensively. He's played well over the last month or so. If he can continue to play that way, they'll find their way out of this rut, I believe. But I'm telling you right now, if the defense looks like this moving forward, they don't stand a chance. I don't give a damn how hot Aaron Rodgers gets. I don't give a damn how well Devontae Adams is playing. I don't give a damn how many running backs they get back healthy. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if the defense is going to play this damn piss poor moving forward. So that's what I saw from afar in this game. Let's get to some of your comments, man. Wow. Didn't see that coming. BE says, upset of the year right here. Maybe. BE also says, no, Pat, no. That's a good one, BE. Mondraw says, yeah, I've been waiting for this since yesterday. Ooh-wee! Wow. Andrew Kim says, Packers are done unless the Vikings keep slipping, but the Lions are looking really good for a playoff spot. You're on to something there. I wasn't buying the Lions, and we're going to see what they look like coming off that bye. But the Lions, they're being set up right now for an opportunity to do some serious damage. But they can't squander those opportunities because one of these teams, whether it's the Vikings or the Packers, they're going to wake the hell up. One of these teams is going to wake up. And if the Lions haven't put enough distance between them and everybody else in the division, they could find themselves in a precarious spot. They've already lost to this Packers team this season. So you don't want the Packers to figure it out and you're still right there within sight. They better figure it out fast, that being the Packers, or else. But I'm not ready to give it to the Lions yet, but I'll tell you right now, the Lions are in a great spot. The rest of this division is struggling. Big time. BE says, is Mike McCarthy on the verge of being fired at the end of the year if they can't do better? Yeah, he is. Aaron Rodgers isn't doing him any favors. Last week, he came out after the game and said we lacked intensity. It starts with the coaching staff, which basically put all the onus on Mike McCarthy, said we weren't ready to play football. So the front office is starting to take a look at Mike McCarthy and saying, wait a minute, is your message becoming stale? Have you been here too long? Do we need change? And after this game right here, I'm going to tell you right now, it's not looking good for Mike McCarthy. I thought he had built up enough equity with this organization that he could withstand one of these types of dud seasons, but it's not looking good for him right now, man. It's not looking good at all. Mondraw says, I personally thought that the ejection was BS. I didn't like it. I wasn't a huge fan of it, but you can't put your hands on the officials. But I would have loved to have seen the officials showing a little restraint there and say, you know what? You're a little heated of the moment, heated of the battle. Don't put your go up to him and say, look, don't put your goddamn hands on me again. I'm going to toss you out this goddamn game. He would have understood that. He would have calmed his ass down quickly. But he just said, nah, the hell with that. Tossed the flag and got his ass out of there. You know Jeff Triplin and his crew, they already told you during the game, they by far have the most ejections this season. They had 5 going into the game, make it 6 now after the ejection of Taylor Lewan. And it's crazy because in the NFL, this isn't the NBA. This isn't baseball. You don't see a lot of ejections in football, but we've seen quite a few this season. And not for the new rule either. Rooting for the Titans to win the division. Texans really don't deserve their record. If the Titans beat the Colts, they have a good shot to win the AFC South. Problem is, the Texans already beat the Titans once. And yeah, they got to go to Nashville and beat them a second time. But I think the Texans are going to do enough to win that division when it's all said and done. Just because of the division. If the Texans didn't play the rest of this division, they wouldn't win the division. But they played Jacksonville last week on the road. Remember, they hadn't won a road game yet. And they just beat Jacksonville on the road for their first road win of the season. That's going to help them. They beat Indy when they weren't supposed to. That's going to help them. They beat Tennessee in a close game on a punt return for a touchdown late to help them win that game. That's going to help them. They're going to find ways to win in the division, and that's what's going to help the Texans probably win this division. BE says 21 unanswered points by the Titans to start this game. Again, who saw that coming? Andrew Kim says the Packers draft a corner in the first round, LOL. I doubt it. They got so many corners. It's ridiculous. They got so many injuries at the cornerback position, but they're loaded at the cornerback position when they're healthy. Their problem is they're just not healthy. They're not healthy anywhere. Offensive line is banged up. Corners been banged up all season long. Running back position, don't talk about that. They had a receiver at running back for about 2 or 3 week stretch there. It's just been so banged up this season. Mind Draw says the bounce back word has been thrown to the Vikings and Packers for weeks, and personally, I think both teams have lost their souls. It could happen. Look, with quarterbacks, with a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, I won't talk about the Vikings quarterbacking situation. With an elite quarterback like Aaron Rodgers, even though he's not playing at the level we're accustomed to seeing him play, they still have a shot. And eventually, they're going to get healthy. Eventually, some of these guys are going to come back from injury, and they're going to put some of the pieces of the puzzle together. You think, the only thing is, are they going to have enough time? Are they going to run out of time before they are able to get all these pieces back and turn things around? That's the question. And that all depends on the Lions. If the Lions keep playing good football, guess what? They're going to run out of time. But if the Lions piss around, lose a game like they're not supposed to, and I still think that loss to the Titans at home at the beginning of the season when the Titans didn't know which way was left or right, which way was up or down, is going to hurt the Lions at the crib. I still think that's going to come back to haunt them when it's all said and done. But if the Lions could play good football, let's say they win their next 3 games and put some distance between the Packers, or let's just say they win the next 2 games and the Packers continue to struggle, and so do the Vikings, then they're going to run out of time. Because we're starting to get into that part of the season where if you're going to have one of those late season runs, you need to start turning things around right about now. You need to start playing some better football right about now and then win your final 4 or 5 games of the season and go on a run. We're getting to that point now. Everybody's played just about 9 games this season. I think these are the last set of byes. And come next week, everybody's going to have played 10 games, and I think we're done with the byes once we get Thanksgiving. So this is a big stretch of football for that entire division. We're going to see what happens. Chris Deaver says, what a great weekend of football. Do you think Green Bay goes after some free agents in the offseason? It's crazy that they have been losing like this. Maybe, maybe not. The Packers aren't notorious for going after free agents. They take care of their own, and they draft. They don't really like going out into free agency and testing the waters. It's not how they run their operation. So it'd be interesting to see if they do decide to test the waters this offseason. Normally, they'll go pick a guy or 2 out, and that's it. I don't really see them building their situation like that. It's not Louie Tee Live. It's Louie Tee Live. And my Louie isn't spelled with an S, but I'll cut you a break. It's Louie, LouieTeE Live, not Louie Tee Live. But I'll cut you a break. NFC North is wide open. Who is built for success down the stretch? Honestly speaking, if the Vikings, I think the offense is going to be just fine if they can continue this quick passing game, get the football. The defense has been somewhat of a surprise. They've been bad lately. If they could turn it back up defensively, get some guys healthy. They've been kind of fumbling around at the linebacker position. Xavier Rhodes left the game this past week against the Redskins. If they could get healthy on the defensive side of football, get back to what they were doing earlier in the season, maybe they'll be fine. I don't know. We'll see. But right now, the Lions are set up for success because they're not playing terrible defense. Their defense has been pretty solid, and they're doing just enough offensively. It isn't pretty, but they're getting contributions from their special teams. They're doing enough offensively, especially late in ball games. Right now, I'd go with the Lions, but I still think the Vikings, because they play defense and they get contributions from their special teams. If the offense can just figure out a way to not throw away games, not turn it over like they did against the Redskins last week, they're going to have a shot, are the Minnesota Vikings, I think, down the stretch. BE says, when are you breaking down the Cards game? Much later on, brother. You know you guys are on that West time zone, so all the West Coast games, those 4 o'clock games, are going to come later on in the afternoon. Mondraw says, how devastating is this L for the Packers? They can't even be mad. They're just sad right now. It's not devastating as much as it is disappointing. You go on the road and you lay an egg and you give up 47. This is either going to do one or two things for them. This is going to galvanize their team. Sometimes you need an ass whooping to recalibrate and say, all right, let's go back to the drawing board. Let's start over from scratch and figure this thing out. Or this is going to just send this team into a spiraling tizzy where they're just going to implode and heads are going to roll in the offseason. One or two things is going to happen here. I'm hoping that they lose next week because they play the Redskins. Of course, I want my boys to get the win. And then they figure some stuff out after that. Figure some stuff out after the Redskins game, not before it. That's what I hope. But with my luck, they'll find a way to get healthy against us next week and get it going offensively and beat us. And they'll get their season right starting with us. So we'll see what happens. Brian Emerson says, I don't think A-Rod saying relax will work this time. No, we're past the RELAX, relax phase. We're past that this time around. BE says, I think the Packers need to sign that squirrel that ran onto the field. We already did that one last week, man. You were a week late with the joke of signing the squirrel. Somebody did that last week, BE. But he might help him out of the backfield, though. Give him a little bit of energy, definitely. And Mondraw says, drink that Lions juice, man. You know you want to. Ha ha. Wee! Yeah. I see the cup over there. It looks like it's pretty tasty, but I'm going to pass on that Lions juice for now, man, because how long can you keep winning these games at the end? I'm not a fan. I'm not a subscriber of late game theatrics over and over and over and over. At some point, you got to actually beat teams and not have to scrape games out at the end. I'm not comfortable with that, so I'm gonna elect to leave that juice there. I'm going to put it in the fridge, actually. I want it to stay cold, so when I'm ready to drink it, it'll be easy to down it. But right now, that juice is sat out for too long. It's a little lukewarm. I'm going to go ahead and put it in the fridge, and maybe it'll be a little bit better to drink later on down the line. So with that being said, I'll check Twitter to see if we have anything there, and we don't. So that's going to do it for me on this installment. I'll check Twitter anyway. I don't want to be negligent. Make sure that nothing's been said. Obviously, nothing usually is, but I'll do my due diligence anyway. And we have absolutely no comments on Twitter. So with that being said, thank you guys for joining me out there. Remember, if it happens in the National Football League, whether big or small, we cover it all here on Lockdown Coverage. Big win for the Tennessee Titans as they get back to 500, 47-25. Who saw that coming? Not many of us. Not many of us at all. Packers. Boy, was that ugly. But guess what? It only counts as one loss. They're going to try to bounce back next week on Sunday Night Football versus the Washington Redskins, a team that they got right off of last year in the playoffs by getting it done at FedEx Field. They're looking to do the same in this upcoming game as they drop under 500 for the first time in a long time, probably since that year Aaron Rodgers was injured. This deep in the season, under 500. Got to be since the Aaron Rodgers season where he was injured and didn't come back till week 17. We'll see what happens with them. But this was an ugly showing by a Packers team that is struggling right now. And that is an understatement as they're 4-5 on the season. We're changing the game one live feed at a time. I will see you next time as I've got plenty more games to break down in week number 10 in the National Football League. See you next time. Have a good one.